Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you the Haunted Mansion clock I mentioned in most of my videos. This is it. We purchased it from Disneyland. And to the left is Jose. It's a Jim Shore piece for the Enchanted Tiki Room. My sister gave it to, I think, either myself or my husband for Christmas. All right, now let's go check out the journals.
Okay, so now we're down on the floor. I do have my front door open, and this will be a very quick flip through and a quick look, only because I have to clean house today. I discovered for my husband last night that one of his friends is coming over to do some work, and I need to clear out the area where he's going to be working. So this is a standard size traveler's notebook. This is my passport traveler's notebook, and then this is my cousin. In here currently, I have my weeks that you see right there. So let me just show you what I need to fill in. So I still need to fill this part in because I'm missing about 2-3 days of information. Over here, I keep track of my packages, which I also need to cross out because I did receive them. I used to keep track of my steps and weight on this side also, but I am now keeping track of that in a separate planner. And let me just show you. So this is last week's, the week before, and then I need to start something to keep track of when we change our AC filter. But here you can see weight steps, packages are right here, and then if I exercised, I would put it down here. So this is a standard size traveler's notebook. This is my passport traveler's notebook. I purchased this in lieu of purchasing new Hobonichi covers for 2023. This is a limited edition. And the main reason why I'm showing you this one is because this is actually holding an A6 weekly supplement. So it's this guy right here. If in case you didn't watch my last video, because I did show me putting this into my passport. But as you can see, it has a little overhang. I was a little worried that I would have to cut it, but quite frankly, you don't. So you can see the passport size on this side. Here is the A6 weekly supplement, and then I just put the string in the middle of the book like that. But so you can see the size difference, and I thought I had to cut just a little bit at the bottom, but as you can see, you really don't have to. It fits perfectly. There again is a little overhang over here, a little overhang down here, but if it doesn't bug you, it will fit perfectly in here. And you know, then it does stick out a little bit over here. And as I said in my last video, what I did was I got, like I said, it's kind of cheapy, homemade, but I don't care because this is for me and I didn't want to spend, I think the ones that I found online were like $10 for this. So I got an old watch band that I was going to toss out anyways, and I cut it, strung it through, and now as you can see, it protects. The string was pulling on the plastic, so you can kind of see it squishing it in, and so now it won't do that because that is in its place. It's not the prettiest thing, but it works, and for me, that's what counts. Now in here is my cousin. This is sort of my brain dump. This is 9 months worth of comics, photos, drawings. So let me show you my weekly section first. And there it is. So this is for this current week. Not shy with the washi and the stickers. We started Bruce on a new nose cream. So I've been keeping track of that down here. I also need to make note of it in his own journal that I have for him, where I track his health. Packages are over here. This is for last week. This is the week before. And once again, if you're new, this is another way you can do it. Where I split it up. My notes section's up here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this helps fill up the page if you don't like white space, like this. Now let's go to the daily pages. So today's the 16th. So yesterday we got an update on Victor. He is doing much better. He's gaining weight, and he's practicing his hunting skills, and his recent blood work show that his zinc levels have fallen within normal range with it, which is awesome. Here I tried a doodle of a snail. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, but it was eating a lettuce, and I just thought it was pretty cute. So I need to watercolor that guy in. I've been sort of on a animal kick, as you can tell. So both of these are from the California, actually this guy is from the California Academy of Science. This is a baby possum. And I wrote some information down. I've seen one in our backyard, and then I haven't seen it since. So I thought I would write down some helpful information about them and then doodle in a little baby. This is Claude. He is an albino alligator. And I don't know if you can see him. I need to watercolor him in and make him a little bit darker so he stands out. But he is 27 years old, and he's living in an indoor swamp-like condition at the California Academy of Science in San Francisco. But I thought he looked pretty neat because he comes up on my feed a lot on Facebook. Now this, okay, let me change this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Now when I journal, this is what I do, is put something underneath this side so that it kind of evens out, because as you can see, it is really thick on this side and then really thin. Otherwise, it's kind of harder to write. So let me slide that back under. Now, I got permission from Sharon Dunn, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, from the Royal Cam Albatross Group, New Zealand. The photographer is Tobias Baumgartner. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong too. But this is a gorgeous photo of two little blue penguins, also called fairy penguins. Now, I didn't want to ruin the photo and the description, so I went ahead and print out what she wrote, Sharon wrote about this. And just really quickly, just so I can show you the actual photos so that you can see what I was trying to accomplish. So give me 1 second. Let me get into my photos on my iPad. So first, let me read you this. She wrote, as we see the little blue penguins, also called fairy penguins, at night on the cam around QT's nest, I am reminded of this heartwarming story of loss, love, and hope of two fairy penguins who are comforting one another each night after both have lost their mates. The lighter penguin is an elderly female whose partner died this year. The darker one is a younger male who lost his partner 2 years ago. Biologists have followed them as they meet every night to comfort each other. They stand for hours together watching the lights in Melbourne. So that is, I just think, is a very loving, touching story. And I follow them on Facebook. And so after I saw the photo and read it, I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I asked her if I could draw the photo into my journal and share this with you. So let me show you the original photo. So that's what it looks like. And then let me show you the second photo. This is the actual photo that they got from the cam. So here are the two little fairy penguins. And so to continue on with this, it says photographer Tobias Baumgartner, again, excuse me if I'm saying it wrong, captured this image of two widowed fairy penguins looking over the Melbourne skyline and our own two little blues at the nest yesterday. Okay, so these are the two at their nest. And then this is, again, what he took of the two blue penguins looking at the skyline, and then this is what I tried to draw. I had a really hard time trying to do the skyline, so I just did dots of color, and then this little black thing is this sort of building, maybe a tower of some kind on that side. I thought about going a little darker with the night sky, but because it's so blue here, I just then try to differentiate between the night sky and then the ocean by drawing the or the water by drawing a darker blue line. But I just think it's a lovely, lovely story. It's a very touching story, and every time I read it, it makes me want to cry. But I will link their group down below. If you have Facebook, you can check them out. They're also on YouTube. They have a live cam that watches the nest, and I think if you remember, I've mentioned QT, the albatross. That's a live cam of that area that you can watch, so I will link that down below. Now on this page, I have from Crow Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife. They had a tortoise whose shell was damaged, so that's tape, and they laid out a bunch of food for him. So there was lettuce, carrots, I think they said there was hibiscus flower that they put out, but he wanted to eat the corn cob, and I just thought it was really funny. And I think there was a video, and you can hear him eating the corn cob. So that's him. Here's Bruce. Oh, it's a gopher tortoise. So they also gave him prickly cactus, carrots, berries, hibiscus flowers, lettuce, and corn, but it was the corn he wanted to eat. So who can't pass up a good corn cob? So here's Bruce. On this side it was my brother-in-law's birthday, and so this was our meal. Underneath, I have photos of the family gathering, which I won't flip. This is from a fortune cookie. That's my neighbor. Down here is a picture of a pollinated dragon fruit. So this is the day after. I pollinated it the night before. Now, if you watched my videos, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a pencil doodle of this. So now this is what it looks like after I colored it in. Again, I didn't color this one, my own picture. Here's Bruce sleeping. Now here's the frogs that I talked about also, that I colored them in. Quite frankly, I think I like the pencil sketch better, but it was hard to see, so I tried to color it in the best I could. The 2 green ones are the green frogs. They are called the splendid tree frog. And then this little guy, my favorite, it's supposed to be purple, is called dumpy tree frog. They're sensitive to change in habitat, making them an indicator species for scientists. And again, I just loved his face, that I had to draw the whole thing from the California Science Center. Again, these are doodles that I did a couple of weeks ago. I showed the pencil sketches, so this is what it looks like colored in. This is from Crow, the Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife. The baby squirrel, his paw was hurt. They put a little mitten thing to try to protect his paw while it was healing. Here are 2 tortoise babies. I tried to color them and sketch them in as best I could. This is the Florida scrub jay. This is what he looks like. Also a rescue. And then I think I showed you guys this the week before. So this is Armando's, some really good Mexican food in South El Monte if you're here in Southern California. And then here's QT. This is my watercolor of QT taken off and probably flying across the ocean now. But this is my watercolor. And that is a quick look of my cousin, my standard traveler's notebook, and my passport traveler's notebook. Bye.